What's happening, y'all? Friday. It's Friday. Thank God another work week is over. Jeez, thought it would never end. Well, I mean, I knew it was going to end eventually, but it would been nice if you could only work like 3 days a week. That would really satisfy me. You can look, but you can't touch. What's happening, Ashley? Hey, Daddy, how was your day? Oh, my day was alright, I guess. I was busy all day, but, you know, as long as I'm busy, that's job security. You know what I mean? So I'm on my way home. Of course, you probably already know that. What's new with you? Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, no kidding. You are correcto mundo on that. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Bored out of your mind. Yeah. I wish I could say the same sometimes. I don't know. I got so much to do all the time. It's hard for me to get bored. You know, if I'm not doing something constructive, I'm doing activities. You know what I mean? That's a cool ass. Let's see if I can. There's a cool ass car. Hold on just a second. Look at that. That car. That's pretty damn cool right there. It's like a 70 or 68 and 70 GTO maybe. I'm not sure what year it is. It's badass though. I guess that guy's got quite a bit of money in it. He wouldn't be out driving around like that. When are you going to come and see me? Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm probably going to be there. See, I'm going on vacation at the end of June. So, like, probably July the 4th weekend, I'm going to be in Charlotte. I'm not really sure. Just kind of depends on how things go between now and then. But I have a planned vacation. I don't know. Let's see. I think I'm going to Kentucky first. And then after I leave Kentucky, we're going to Florida. But I'm not sure when we leave Florida if we'll be coming back through North Carolina or if we're going to hit North Carolina on the way to Florida. So I don't really know, to be honest with you. Sorry about that. I can't really read right now. I'm kind of in traffic here. Going through some construction area. Like people driving slow. So I'll read it during. I know I got a stoplight coming up pretty soon. I'll read it when I get to the stoplight. Anyway. But, you know, life goes on. Kind of at a loss for words today. I'm going up tomorrow morning. You know, I said earlier in the week that Harley Davidson place had called me and talked to me about my motorcycle. So it looks like I'm going up to the Doc's Harley Davidson in the morning. I'm going to be taking my motorcycle and the title, and it looks like I'm going to be selling that bike tomorrow. I found out another person that I know that lives a couple doors down, an illegal alien, of course, was driving, hit the guy at the front of his motorcycle with the back of his car and kept on going. So it was a hit and run accident. Well, it wasn't an accident. It just really pisses me off, you know, that there's idiots like that out there on the road now. Now, they did catch the guy. They got his car and everything. But as it turns out, he was a fucking illegal alien. And he killed somebody on a motorcycle. That tells you blocks and pumpkins. Where's my wife? Well, before I answer that, I don't know who you are, blocks and pumpkin. Sorry. If you tell me who you are, you look like a Lego piece. Well, thank you. I don't know. Thumbs up or fingers up or whatever your name is. So anyway, this they got the guy. I hope they fry his ass. You know, another motorcyclist dead because of carelessness, probably drunk driving. You know, those illegal aliens give no regard for the law, have no regard for the law. They'll get behind the wheel of a car after they've been drinking. They don't give a shit, you know. And that's probably why he ran. It's because he was an illegal and he knew he was going to jail regardless. But now, not only is he responsible for leaving the scene of an accident, they're probably going to get him for vehicular manslaughter. I don't think murder would stick because, well, you know, it might be like a second or third degree murder because he didn't plan to do it. But you know, the fact is now we have a dead motorcyclist because some illegal alien wanted to get behind the wheel of a car and hit a motorcycle. Now, go figure. You know, things are still developing on that story. All right, let me see if I've got some people responding here. Pull out the booger. I have no boogers, thank you very much. Billy Squatch, whoever the fuck you are. If I want boogers in my nose, I'll leave them there. I don't need your permission. Thank you very much. This is my feed, not yours. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Now. But anyway, so I decided yesterday, I was kind of tossing the idea around. I mean, I talked to the people at the Harley place earlier in the week, and I talked to them about possibly bringing it up this week, but it rained the next day. And then, you know, I worked until from 6 to 2:30, so I'm up way early in the morning, so I just didn't feel like taking it over there. So I decided that since I don't have anything to do tomorrow, I'm going to take my bike up to the Harley place in the morning and sell it. I'm done. I can't consciously get on a motorcycle now knowing that there were stupid people out there on the road, you know, driving. You know, these stupid people are on their cell phones. And see, I don't know about the state that any of you live in. Iceman 3030, Ashley. Yes, I'm really Ashley's dad. I am. Anyway, so you know, marijuana is legal here in Missouri, unfortunately. It's legal for medicinal use and recreational use. So now, not only do you have stupid people on cell phones, but you have stone stupid people on cell phones, which really pisses me off because you know, every morning I drive it like, I leave my house about 5:20 in the morning to go to work. I got to be there at 6. And, you know, these people that I can tell when I'm behind somebody who's smoking in their cars and who's not. Now, I don't really care that people smoke pot. If you do, that's your big, you know, that's your deal. I smoked pot for many years. But, you know, fortunate enough for me, well, not fortunate, but, you know, I never was in an accident or anything, and I didn't really, you know, I wasn't on my cell phone. I might have gotten stoned and drove, but, you know, I wasn't on my cell phone. Now you got these people out here on cell phones that want to drive stoned. I just don't understand it, you know. Being stoned is a distraction enough in its own. And Jimmy, thanks for letting me borrow your blow-up doll. I just finished off. Can I swing by your place and return it tonight? Pardon me. Who the fuck are you? Dude, who's this motherfucker? Well, if I could figure out how to fucking report removed. There we go. Dumbass. Not funny. at all. Now, let's see if I can figure out who to block that motherfucker. Give me just a minute. Nice, man. Okay. This is deleted. RH. User timeout. Hide user channel. There we go. Timeout, motherfucker. 24 hours. Goodbye, asshole. Now, I'm not going to put up with disrespect. It's not going to happen. Don't worry about it, Ashley. He's gone. I took care of him. He's gone. Stupid fucker. I don't know why people want to be fucking ignorant. It just pisses me off. You want to be ignorant, go on somebody else's channel and be ignorant. You're not going to do it on mine. Dumbass. So anyway, get back to what I was talking about. I'm going to the Harley place in the morning. I'm taking my title with me. I really kind of hate to sell my motorcycle because I just paid it off, but I've been paying on it 6 years, but I haven't really ridden it much. You know, I'm really, I had to lay it down about 1.5 years ago, and I'm really nervous, you know, when I go out on the road. And, you know, now we got all these fucking illegal aliens in our country. They're driving cars that they shouldn't be driving. A lot of them are either drug users or drunks, and they do stupid shit like what happened in Missouri the other night. You know, this guy hit this biker and killed him, you know, and then he ran from the scene. So I'm just not feeling real good about driving a motorcycle anymore. Now, I wear a helmet, and I do drive more carefully than I drive my car, but you know, it's not always your driving ability that keeps you out of trouble. It's everybody's around you, you know, that make I don't know, they're more in control of your life than you are. They could hit you and drive you off the road, and your car could flip and kill you or whatever. You know, it's a damn shame that people just don't fucking care. They just don't, you know, they don't fucking pay attention anymore. They're too distracted by what's going on and all the electronics in their car and their fucking cell phones and everything else. I sure as shit didn't want this to be like what do they call it? Fucking, I didn't want to complain today, but I'm going to anyway. Because I'm free white and well over 21, and I can do that. I hope it doesn't turn people off, you know. But I seen I went from 8 viewers to 1, so I guess I pissed a bunch of people off, and I really don't care. I'm tired of fucking keeping my mouth shut. You know, it's, yeah, I lost Ashley too. Well, maybe it's the area I'm in. Anyway, so I'm gonna ask for. I've got a price in my head that I want to ask for this motorcycle. Whether or not I get that much, I don't know. It's a 2019 Iron 883. It's got less than 22, I don't know. It's got about 2,300 miles on it or something like that. It doesn't have a lot. Like I said, I don't ride it a lot because riding a motorcycle by yourself is no fun whatsoever. And, you know, especially since these little incidents have been going on, and, you know, ever since I had to lay it down about 1.5 years ago, I'm just not interested in riding a motorcycle on the fucking highway or anywhere else anymore. You know, because unfortunately, you know, shit happens, and, you know, if I've got a dirt bike, if I want to ride a motorcycle, I'll just take my dirt bike out in the woods. You know, at least if I run into something or you know, drown because I'm trying to go through some water that's too fucking deep or something, that's my fault, you know. But when you're out here on the road and you got these dickheads that don't want to pay attention to where they're driving, and they run into you on your motorcycle and kill you, that's on them, not on you. You did what you needed to do, you know, by, you know, wearing your helmet or gloves or however it is you ride, and then you got some careless asshole, illegal alien asshole, that comes along and wipes you out and sends you to, get your wings. You know what I mean? It's a damn shame that it has to be that way. But like I said, I got a dirt bike and a four-wheeler. Ride a motorcycle or machinery of any kind, I can go out in the woods and do it just as easily as I can on the road. It's more fun in the woods anyway. You know, I like getting out in the woods and get muddy and ride trails and test my endurance and stuff like that. I don't ride the tracks anymore. You know, those motocross tracks, man, they'll beat you to death. And with me, I haven't been on a motocross track in, man, since probably 2018 or 2019. So it's been 7 years since I've even probably, well, I don't even know if I've ridden my dirt bike since then. I used to go to a place in Foley, Missouri to ride my motorcycle or my dirt bike. And there was a little lady that owned it, but they, you know, during that whole fucking scamdemic thing, they closed down because they didn't want people out there getting each other sick. I mean, it's not like, you know, you would have gotten anybody sick riding your motorcycle by yourself in the woods. That's got to be the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. But, you know, that's the price everybody paid for this fucking scamdemic that the government brought along to try and fucking get control of everybody. But anyway, so she closed down, and then after the I don't know, restrictions, I guess what you call them, were lifted, we had a really bad flood. Well, unfortunately, the motocross track bulldozed and backhoed and everything else got washed out, and there was a bridge there that went from one side of the track to one side of the park, the motocross park, to the other, and it was washed out. So she closed, and I guess for her to repair everything would have cost her more money than it was actually worth to do it. So they ended up closing permanently. So now, if I want to go ride my dirt bike, I have to put it on a trailer and drag it, I don't know, probably an average of about 70 miles, because I live in St. Louis County, and it's not like when I lived in Waxhaw, North Carolina, or, you know, that area where I could just get on my bike and ride down the side of the road and then go right into the woods. It's not like that here. You know, I live in a suburb, so, and there's really no open fields or anything in these areas to ride anyway. So if you want to ride for any amount of time, or you want to ride any trails or anything, you have to pull your motorcycle or your dirt bike and your four-wheeler. You got to pull them, you know, 50, 60, 70 miles. It's too much like work, you know. I mean, I've done it before. We have a place here called St. Joe State Park, and it used to be an old copper mine or something, or gold mine or coal mine, I don't know. It used to be some kind of mine out there anyway, and it's a pretty popular place, but, you know, you got to leave there early in the morning to get there by the time they open. And then, you know, after you've ridden all day, you sure as hell don't want to, you know, pack up your bike and your four-wheeler and all that bullshit and then have to pull it all the way home and then, you know, take it off and wash it. Because I don't, you know, when I go ride, my bike's muddy. I don't like to leave it overnight, you know, with mud on it. And so I always clean it off immediately when I get done. And do that, or I go by a car wash, you know, and spray it down real good. But I got a pressure washer at home, so I do that at home too, you know. It just depends on how muddy it is. But so, you know, that's kind of obsolete at this point. I haven't ridden my dirt bike in quite a while anyway. And, you know, but if I sell this Harley, it looks like I might have more time to do that now. Plus I got 249cc scooters, but, you know, I'd ride them through the neighborhood, but I'm not going to ride them out on, main roads, like, where there are lots and lots of cars and stoplights and businesses and all that bullshit. No, not gonna happen. But luckily enough for me, there are a lot of neighborhoods, that go between, little townships or whatever where I live. So if I want to ride a 49cc scooter, I can do that. Really, like I said, I hate to sell this motorcycle because I really wanted one. I remember back in the day, one of those choppers, like a S&S chopper. The bad thing about the S&S choppers is that, well, number one, they're overpriced. Number two is that, like with Harley Davidson, dealerships are all over the place. And a lot of times too, the Harley Davidson places that you buy your bike from, if you're close enough to them and you break down, they'll come to you and fix your bike, or haul it back to the shop and fix it. And usually the parts are on hand, whether they have the parts at their dealership or whether it's somewhere close by. And if you're out of state, they'll call somebody in their network, the Harley Davidson network, and they'll get you fixed up and running. Well, S&S isn't like that. They don't have dealerships like that all over the world, or the United States, or wherever you ride. You got to call a tow truck and have your bike towed home. You got to wait on the parts. Then you got to find somebody that's willing to work on it. So that's the problem too, is that the Harley place will work on those S&S bikes, but they charge more money to fix the off-brand bikes than they do to fix the Harleys. And even the Harley parts are really expensive, and the labor and everything else. And you might pay, I think I paid $40 or something like that for a freaking oil change on my Harley. And it's just a little Sportster. I mean, I could do it myself, but I didn't want to void the warranty. Because they were like, oh, it has to be done by a Harley technician. Well, I kind of know that's bullshit, but, I went along with it. And then you got to have these services done. I think, the first one was done at like 1,000. They do 1,000, 5,000, and then so on, like every 4,000 or 5,000 miles. They have you do these services. Give me just a second. I know it's not good etiquette to be drinking sodas and shit while I'm driving and talking, doing the video, but that's all right. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Yeah. So I don't have a lot else planned for the weekend. I do need to get that dirt bike out and run it a little bit. I'll probably just, ride it around the backyard. My yard's not very big, and I can't really open it up, to run all the carbon and shit off the head cylinders and all that. But it would at least be enough to kind of get the motor flowing good and stuff like that. So, charge the battery a little bit or whatever. I try to keep it on a trickle charge, but here the past week and stuff, it's been raining. I just haven't felt like going out to the building to do any of that stuff. So I haven't. Anyway. I do need to mow my grass this weekend. That definitely needs to be done. It's getting kind of high. We've had a lot of rain lately, so I got an old lawnmower. That lawnmower's probably, let's see, I bought my house 13 years ago, I believe. And I bought that lawnmower before I moved into that house. So that lawnmower's probably 14 years old. But, being mechanically inclined like I am, I I usually service it every season. I change the oil and stuff like that. Clean up the stator a little bit so that it continues to pick up the electrical charge and stuff like that. But I've had to do a lot of other stuff to it as well. I do need to sharpen the blade. It's been a couple of years since I've had the blade sharpened, so I might pull it off to do that. I'm still having problems though with the carburetor on it. On the lawnmower that I have, it's got a little siphon button, that you push. Climbs the carburetor. It's supposed to make it easier to start. Bought a carburetor kit for it and put it on it, and it worked good for like the first 3 or 4 times I used it. And then when I was pulling it out of my building last time, I let it drop on the ground. It's about a 1.5 foot drop off of the floor of the building onto the actual ground. So I pulled it out and let it fall, and I think it knocked that little ball out. The little ball is inside. It's got a spring behind it, and then there's like a little plastic cap that goes on the cylinder that this ball goes in. So I got a feeling what happened, and probably is that from the impact, the spring probably moved and pushed it, pushed that plastic piece out. It's probably floating around in there somewhere. Anyway, so that was a waste of $20 to do that, to replace that carburetor. But I did manage to, damn, people have been talking to me and I haven't been watching. Sorry guys. Let's see here, who's talking to me? Iceman, take care. Have a good one. All right, man. I don't know when you signed off, but then I got Iceman. Thank people won't watch him because he doesn't interact with people like comments. Well, Iceman, it's kind of hard, to be interacting with people when I'm driving. I do interact if I'm at a stoplight, and I'll give shout outs. A lot of people won't give shout outs, and that's one thing that I will do. I don't require people to follow my page or my channel. I don't require people to subscribe or like my channel. I'll give you a shout out no matter what. I think it's really cool. But the thing is I'm driving, and plus my feed wasn't moving. I didn't see it moving when people were commenting, so it's kind of hard for me to pay attention to what's going on over here and what's going on out there at the same time. So, like I say, now when I get to a stoplight, I'll look down. I've got viewers. I got more viewers than I had when I first started, so people are interacting with me. You know what I mean? You just got to be patient. You can't expect me to stop what I'm doing, to come down here and say hello or whatever. And, you got to stick around. You know what I mean? I'll look down eventually, or I'll glance down. All right, so I got a stoplight coming up. So as soon as I get to this stoplight, I'll look down. And if anybody wants a shout out, I'll give them a shout out. If anybody has a question or wants to comment, I'll comment back. Give me just a second to stop. Okay, Jacob thy snack Cobe. Hey man, we spoke the other day. How's it going, bro? Good, Jacob. How about yourself? I guess Iceman's gone. Let's see here. How old am I? I'm 56. How much horsepower does your bike have? It's about 100, probably about 102. It's an iron 883. It's 883 cubic centimeters. Does your daughter ride too? Yes, my daughter used to ride when she was young. She had a four-wheeler. I used to take her out to a motocross park all the time. Pretty good about to get off of work. Planned on buying the truck today, but I don't know. It's going to go. Yeah, buying a vehicle right now, especially with the inflated rates, the way they are, and the interest rates. I mean, you might be able to get a good interest rate, but I bought a car back in September of last year. I bought a 25 Chevy Equinox. Actually, I traded my old car in. I had a 22 Chevy Trailblazer, the little small one, RS, and at 59,000 miles, the damn check engine light was coming on. I started having problems with it. They said it was something called a, oh shit. They said it was something called a temperature control sensor of some kind. But basically, that's just a fancy name for a thermostat. Now, I didn't drive it, like hot or anything. I didn't screw it up, but, I figured if I was having problems with it at 59,000 miles, then, things were going to start happening. Now, I had a warranty on the car, so the warranty took care of what was going on with it. Excuse me, woo! Or it would have been $1,100 for me to get it fixed if I didn't have the warranty. And it was, I had the bumper-to-bumper drivetrain and all that bullshit included. I bought it from a dealership called Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. I don't make enough per year to finance anything, man. I'm broke. Yeah, I know the feeling. I mean, I guess I'm broke because of my own stupidity. I go out and buy shit and don't really need it, or, you know what I mean? I didn't really have to buy a brand new car, but I do a lot of traveling, like during the summer and stuff. So I've got I've got a 2008 Chevy Trailblazer that I drive back and forth to work. And it's got, let's see, it's got 244,902 miles on it. And I bought this truck, or this Trailblazer. It's the Trailblazer LT. It's the 08. I bought it back in 2016. When I bought it, it had 125,000 miles on it. I bought it from CarMax. And I bet you in the past couple of years, I mean, I've replaced both of the front axles, both of the front bearing hubs. I've replaced the water pump, the power steering pump, both hoses. I mean, the list goes on and on. I just bought a brand new set of tires for it. I just had a tune-up done on it. I had to replace the coil pack on cylinder 5 was bad. So I had to put a coil pack on it. That cost me another $500. These older cars like this will freaking nickel and dime you to death. You know what I mean? So, but it's a dependable vehicle. I can get in it, turn the key. I know I can start it up and it'll go. And so I drive it more than I drive my brand new car. My brand new car I bought, that 25 Equinox, I bought it back in, let's see, August or September. And it's still, I don't even have 5,000 miles on it yet. So that tells you how much I drive it. You know what I mean? Well, the car's what? We're in the 5th month, so September, October, November, December. So the car's 9 months old. I've only put 4,800 miles or something like that on it. So there's, I don't drive it a whole lot. The Equinox, I don't know year. You have a 01 Chevy single cab. Always had to replace parts. Luckily, the parts were dirt cheap. Yeah, well, that's a good thing about Chevrolets, because Chevrolet, you can go to any junkyard and find Chevy parts, and those different parts are on so many different vehicles. I mean, depending on your model, of course, but you can use the GMC brand parts on a Chevrolet. You know what I mean? So that's what I liked about buying a lot of it. Like, I used to drive like old Camaros and a lot of older Chevys, and I had a 1972 Olds Cutlass 442 that was, man, I couldn't find parts for that thing for nothing, because anybody that had them was holding on to them. And then if I wanted to go to a junkyard and get parts for them, like now some of the Delta 88s and some of the other models, it was a 350 motor, so some of those parts would fit, you know, but when you got down to like transmissions and shit, because it had the his and hers shifter in it, I couldn't find a transmission for it, you know what I mean? So even if I could, I couldn't afford it, so I ended up selling that car. I traded it for 73. The 442 I had was the fastback 442 was a W31 model, which had the 350 motor in it. It had the 350 turbo transmission, but it had the Hurst old shifter in it, and it had the I think it was 373 gear in the rear end. I don't remember, it's been so long, but that car was super fast anyway. But then it was a fastback, so I traded it for a 74 Cutlass Supreme, and then that one had a bad oil pump in it, and but I just, you know, I babied it and until it broke down finally. And then I think I had like a Valiant, so a Plymouth Valiant after that. It was like a 73 Plymouth Valiant. It was a 4-door, but it had the it was an old cop car, so it had the 318 Police Interceptor in it. Now that freaking car would move, I'm telling you. But you know, here days, I mean, I've got this old 2008. It's like a 20-mile trip for me to go to work every day, so I don't mind driving it. It drinks a little more gas than I like, but it's a dependable truck, you know what I mean? Well, it's an SUV, but it's still a truck to me. My new car, I'm trying to keep the miles down on it, you know, because it'll give me a good trade-in value, you know, like in 5 years if I want to go trade it, or after I get it paid off if I want to trade it. If it doesn't have an ass load of miles on it, I'll get a pretty good trade-in on it. And the body's pretty straight on it. I love classic trucks, 70s and 80s model trucks just look good to me. Yeah, absolutely, I agree 100%. Let's see here, motor just gave out completely, so I've been driving my work truck around everywhere. Yeah, I feel for you. The good thing about my 2008, you know, is that I've also, well, it's not mine. I bought it for my girlfriend. She's got a 2015 Chevy Traverse. She wanted something that had, you know, third row seating, but she also wanted something that was all-wheel drive. And I went to CarMax and got it, and I picked it up for $17,000, and it had like 84-ish thousand miles on it. And well, you know, when you go get a car at CarMax, of course they do that 125-point checkup and all that. But apparently whoever did the checkup on that particular car didn't do a very good job. So we drove it around for a week, and I made a list of everything that was wrong with that car. And you know, CarMax, they've got that, was it 4 months, 9,000 mile warranty or something like that. So we hadn't even put but just a couple hundred miles on it. And I had a list of about 10 or 12 things that were wrong with it. I took it to them, told them, hey, here's a list of everything that's wrong. They looked at it. There were a lot of parts like the brake booster cylinder. They replaced that. They put new brakes on the front. They put new rotors on it. They put a new torque. Was it a torque something or other? Torque tube that goes. It's part of the all-wheel drive system. They put a new torque tube on it. That thing's $2,000 by itself. They did. They put a new power steering pump on it. I mean, they must have dumped like $6,000 into this thing. I mean, you know, not just parts alone, because you have to figure in the labor and all that. But you know, anywhere else it would have been around $6,000 for all the work they did. They didn't charge me a dime because it was under warranty. So I bought an extended warranty on it as well. And it covers it bumper to bumper up to 125,000 miles. Well, it's just barely got 89,000 miles on it now. She doesn't drive a lot either because she works from home. So the warranty that I have on it, like if something happens to it, something breaks, the warranty will cover it, but I've got a deductible. So I've got a $100 deductible. Now the $100 deductible is if I take it somewhere outside of the CarMax network. But then if I actually take it to CarMax, the deductible is only $50. So that's a really cool deal as far as I'm concerned. But like I said, I've got all these I've got two backup cars. So if anything goes wrong with one of them, I can put it in the shop for a day or so, and then I don't have to worry about transportation to work or anything. So I've got 3 vehicles. I would say I'd have a motorcycle to ride, but I'm getting ready to sell it tomorrow, so I won't have a motorcycle anymore. And it's where I work is too far to ride a scooter, so I won't be doing that. Oh, you got to go? Check out, go home. I'll holler at you later. Have a good sleep. Oh, I appreciate it, Jacob. You too, buddy. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for your subscription as well. I know you did it a while back, but I appreciate it anyway. All right, guys. Well, I'm home now. There's 2 viewers on. I don't know who you are. I only have 1 like on here. Let's see. Frankie Trombino. What's up, Frankie? How you doing? Let's see who else I messed up here. I know there's not that many people watching on. Actually, I have nobody's watching right now. But I wanted to get up here. Iceman 3030, take care. I appreciate you. Wants his channel to grow, pay attention to the chat. That's all I'm saying. I appreciate that, Iceman 3030. I know it's kind of, how old am I? How much? Yeah, I already answered those questions. Does your daughter ride too? I answered that question. Very true, but bikes aren't innocent either. Bikers cutting traffic. I don't do that shit. That's stupid. What model Harley? It's a 2019 Iron 883. Hello, Hockey King. Sorry I missed you today. RH, yeah, I timed him out because he was an asshole. All right, well, let's see. All right, well, I'm going to take off, folks. That's the end of my... Oh, it's you? Okay, I got 1 viewer, so it's my daughter, Ashley. All right, well, Ashley, I'm going to take off. If anybody else watches this in the replay, I'm sorry you missed it. You missed a pretty talkative one today. But we'll catch you again. I may do a video over the weekend. I might even shoot a video from the Harley place tomorrow. I don't know. If you're just now coming in, speak up, tell me who you are, where you're from, and I'll give you a shout out real quick. I'm getting ready to shut down my feed. So if you're in here and you want to say hello, you got about 10 seconds. Hello, Man Mac, bro. Is this disc what? No, this isn't Discord. This is YouTube. I guess that's what you're asking. Is that right, Man Mac? Okay, well, anyway, I'll give you a shout out. A lot of people want you to subscribe and all that bullshit. I mean, I'd like for people to subscribe to my page or my channel, but if you don't, it's no big deal. But I give people a shout out anyway. So, Man Mac, there's your shout out. Anybody else want to shout out? Because I'm seriously getting ready to cut this thing down. All right. I think he wants to know what you're listening to. Oh, I'm listening to Hair Nation on XM radio. I always do. Whether it's, let's see, what Hair Nation or Lithium are the 2 that I listen to the most anyway. All right, you guys take it easy. I'll talk to you again soon. Watch out for my next video. If you're subscribed, you should get a notification. Y'all take it easy. Love you too, baby. I'll talk to you later. Bye.